Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Have You Heard? My name's Richard, and as you can see in the title, today digging through my record collection, I came across the wonderful Peter Gabriel. And of course, this is so. And as you hopefully know on our channel now, we try to find songs that have not been reacted to very much on YouTube. Now, of course, for Peter Gabriel, it's quite difficult because just about all his songs have been reacted to. But, there's a couple that lag a little bit behind. And this particular song really needs a little bit of love, I think, because its title isn't Red Rain or Sledgehammer or Don't Give Up or In Your Eyes or Mercy Street. But it is called That Voice Again. And it's beautiful. And I think on any other album it would be a highlight. But it kind of gets shuffled down the pack, doesn't it, by all those other classics on this wonderful 1986 album by Peter Gabriel. So it's That Voice Again. Let's have a listen to it and then we can chat about it afterwards. PG is another of my heroes from all the years back when I first saw Genesis in 1972 on the Foxtrot tour, and from that moment I was a huge Peter Gabriel fan, and to this very day I still am. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. So let's put on the trusty headphones and let's listen to That Voice Again by Peter Gabriel.
Judging jury in my hand, it's coloring everything all we did and said. Still I hear that sharp tongue talking tangled words. I can sense the danger, just listen to the wind.
Is that Tony Levin?
I want you close, I want you here. I can't help but listen, but I don't wanna hear that voice again. And I wanna be with you, I wanna be clear, that each time I try, it's the voice I hear that voice again. Oh, I'm hearing right and wrong so clearly. There must be more than this. It's only an uncertainty that we're naked and alive. Hear it through the rattle of a streetcar. Hear it through the things you said. I can get so scared. Listen to the wind. carry in my heart brings us so close or so far apart. Only love can make love. And I want you close, I want you near. I can't help but listen, but I don't wanna hear. I hear that voice again. I wanna be with you, I wanna be clear. Each time I try, it's the voice I hear. I hear that voice again.
It's a beautiful sounding song. Production by Peter and Daniel Lanois, of course. Um, and it has an 80s kind of sound, but I think the star of the whole show is Manu Katché on drums. And that doesn't sound to me like the typical gated drums of the early 80s, which of course Peter was mainly inspired that whole sound. Um, it's it's beautifully driven by the drums, but beautiful cymbal work. It's lovely. And of course, he's got his trusted band on this track. He's got David Rhodes on guitar. He's got Tony Levin on bass. Um, as I say, Manu on drums, and Peter's playing the keyboards. Excuse me. And also, I think Daniel Lanois is on guitar as well. Um, but it's such a lovely song that tends to be overlooked because of all the other lovely songs on the album. Um, and the vocals, again, there are no backing vocalists credited on the album, so I'm sure there's lots of double tracking and all those background vocals is Peter doing his thing as well. Um, and he really is an underrated singer. Well, I suppose he's not underrated because lots of people say, "What a voice!" Um, but it really is. It's a weapon. It's really powerful with such emotion as well. Um, the first Peter Gabriel album not to be called Peter Gabriel. My goodness me. Uh, I was watching the other day Chris Martin's slightly embarrassing speech inducting Peter into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he tells the story of the first four albums all being called Peter Gabriel, and the label guy saying they're all called Peter Gabriel. What's the next one going to be called? It's not going to be called Peter Gabriel. We don't want that. And he goes, so, and they chose that. Yeah, it's a lame story. And if I was Chris Martin, I would have done a much better job. But there you go. Peter Gabriel, I mean, this was the big album, wasn't it? But it certainly wasn't the peak and then downhill all the way. Absolutely not. Us in 1992 was terrific. And then it was, okay, he did a few things. He did Up, didn't he, in about 2002. There was the Scratch My Back exercise and OVO. I'm sure I've missed out a couple. And then, of course, a couple of years ago, I.O. came out. And, I mean, I couldn't wait to buy it as soon as... Well, he'd issued a track a month, hadn't he? But I didn't want to know that. I wanted to hear the album, and I didn't want little tasty tidbits. That's not my scene. I just wanted to buy the whole thing. So I waited, didn't listen, and just bought the album when it came out. And in typical Peter Gabriel innovative style, he gave us two mixes, the bright side and the darker side. And I tend to mix and match depending on what mood I'm in, which mix I listen to. But it's an incredible album, much better than I could ever have expected. And I'll be doing a couple of songs from that in the channel in the next few months, I think, because I'm not too sure how many people have heard it. Um, I know it did pretty well and sold well, but uh, if you can call Peter Gabriel a heritage act, then they do tend to lose people as time goes on. Um, this is well worth buying and listening to regularly. It's wonderful. But sorry, back to that voice again, and it's Peter's voice. It's that voice again, and I think it's wonderful. So there we go. You've heard all the superlatives from me as usual. I mean, I'm not going to play any songs on this channel that I don't like. That would not do me any good, and I don't think it would do you guys much good either. Please, if you like the video, please press on like. Subscribe would be lovely. We've got quite a few videos that are worth delving into now, if only for the music and not for my waffle. And also, please, comments on Peter Gabriel, your likes, your dislikes, your favourite records, your favourite songs. It's the first Peter Gabriel we've done. I mean, we've done a couple of Genesis. Not too many people have watched the Genesis videos, so if you are a Genesis fan and you've clicked onto this, have a listen. We've got Fly on the Windshield from The Lamb Lies Down, and we've also got Can Utility and the Coastliners from Foxtrot. So we've got two lovely, lovely tracks on the channel. Have a little listen. But thank you very much indeed. Any comments would be absolutely welcome. Thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next video. So until then, cheers everybody.